Yes, this is boxing fan UncleTboxing, and I'm here with he doesn't really like to take praise too much, but I'm just gonna say I'm here with Adam Booth. We're here for one of your fighters fighting on his first. Is this his first show that his first headlining? Judge?
No, he headlined once earlier on in his career in Newcastle, but this is his first big championship main event headline. Yeah,
Sink or swim. Do you see it as that?
it's part of his career. I mean, in boxing, in professional boxing, you either adapt, win, or get knocked off the perch and back down the conveyor belt, and that's what it is. I think when Eddie says sink or swim, he's talking. I think he's referring to superstar status because he believes that Josh is the next British superstar, and I think that's what he's referring to when he's talking about sink or swim. You either swim and become the next superstar, or you sink and you get pushed back down the queue. I think that's what it is.
How do you feel of the criticism? Do you take a little bit of the blame of the criticism Josh Kelly's got so far? Unfairly?
Criticism for what?
The way he's been performing. The Robinson fight, for example.
What about the Robinson fight?
The Robinson fight, for example, because they thought that, okay, from my point of view, he was winning the fight for the first four at the beginning.
Yes.
Then he stood there and started trading. There's a few times when he was at the back of the ring and taking punches.
Stopped competing and started showing out a little bit. Yeah.
He got criticised for that. Coupled that with pulling out of the fight, obviously he was ill. And thirdly, because of people hung into your words, what you say, and you've come out and said how much special it is, and we're still yet to see it.
Okay, so the answer to that one is my belief in Josh is more now than it was 2 years ago. With regards to the Ray Robinson fight, remember one thing. That fight was scored a draw. One of the judges scored it for Josh, two gave it as a draw. So nobody scored it for Robinson. Ray Robinson drew with Kavaliauskas. Kavaliauskas knocked out David Avanesian. So Josh has drawn at the level that was better than David Avanesian in his 10th pro fight. If you're going to criticise a young fighter still perfecting his trade and learning on the job when he's stepping up to that level after only 10 fights, then you probably need to check yourself. But like I've always said, opinions mean nothing to me. I'm confident in what I know and what I do. He's confident in what he is as a fighter. And time will show whether we're right or wrong. And that's it. Time shows everything.
That's one of your words I've stolen that I use all the time. Time reveals everything, indeed. You've got you've had another female to your stable. I've actually seen that fight a couple of times. Ellie, beautiful body puncher. Well, how did that come about?
Through Adam Martin, who I'm working with on a daily basis now, and he chatted to Ellie, and Ellie wanted a little bit of advice on something, so I sat and chatted with her, and I think we got on. I like her. I think she's a fantastic talent. She's only 20 years old, and she has got, I think she's got the skill set and the ability to be fast-tracked to world level. Pro debut, she's very confident. She's got a style and a character that is perfectly suited to pro fighting, and a story and a fighting style and a character that's perfectly suited to Eddie Hearn and Sky Sports.
I'm looking forward to it. It's one of those ones.
You know she's good, right?
She is. They're very, very good. Has she ever sparred Shannon before?
Yeah, she's sparred Shannon.
Obviously, you're not going to tell me.
Don't be that guy.
No, obviously. No.
Don't be that guy.
I'm just trying to say.
What do you want me to tell you?
No, nothing.
Yeah, they sparred. Yeah,
He's
sparring.
Yeah, that's true. And what else is going on in your stable? There's
Michael Conlon.
He was here today.
Yeah, he's got a good fight on March 17th, St. Patrick's Day at New York, which is always just an unbelievable thing to be involved in. Michael's a superstar over there, and the atmosphere that surrounds him there is just incredible. So looking forward to that. So I've got Michael getting ready for that competitive fight, and Josh getting ready for Avanesian at the same time. They're both living with me in my house as well, so we're just buzzing off each other at the moment.
What are they eating? I've told you you're vegan. Have you turned them into that veganism?
No. I believe that later on in their life, once they've stopped being professional fighters, it's something they should do. But I wouldn't enforce. I know what a big change it is to completely change your whole eating vocab. I know what it's like, and I know it takes time to get used to it, and they don't have that time to adapt. So they're better off going how they're going.
I overheard Josh Kelly saying something about his weight is really good right now. Has he been training? That's one of the issues because
You will see on March 28th how his preparation is for this fight. There's nothing. We're not on a percentage of any pay-per-view money here. He's got his purse. He's going to do his job. Let that side do all the chat. He can just concentrate on becoming the pro that he wants to be and the champion that he wants to be.
nothing really bothers you. Well, not nothing, but opinions about other people you don't really care for too much. How did you feel about Carl just now, of what he just said in the press conference? David and his manager.
Oh, it means nothing to me. He meant nothing to me yesterday. He means nothing to me today. He can have whatever opinion he wants. It's irrelevant.
He ruffled you just a little bit, though. You got a little bit of a reaction from you.
What did I do?
Just commented about.
I thought it was a nice little present. It was a packet of condoms. I'm not too sure who he wants me to use them on. Maybe he can let me know. And a flower. I thought he's taken the time to think about me and get me something, so I had to show a little bit of appreciation.
It's Valentine's Day.
Maybe he's coming out.
JOYCE is no longer working with you. How do you see his chances against Daniel Dubois?
I make Joe's the favourite. You've got to look at who Joe's boxed and beaten in the amateurs and who Joe's boxed in the pros. Daniel is still a 22-year-old who hasn't fought at that level. But Daniel's got immense potential. But I'm genuinely convinced that this fight's been made too soon for Daniel. I think if Daniel had taken this fight 2 years from now, that the pendulum might swing better towards his favour. But at this stage of the game, I think Joe is too experienced, too seasoned, too strong, too relentless, and a lot smarter than his style leads you to believe. Not easy to hit. Although when he gets hit with clean shots, but he's not easy to hit. And I think in a fight like this, he'll be more switched on. He'll be more smart in the beginning. And I think I favour Joe by a stoppage in the second half of the fight.
Well, he is heavyweight boxing. You're only one punch away from a disaster. So Daniel, he hits very hard.
Absolutely.
Could catch him.
Absolutely. In heavyweight boxing, when two guys can punch like that, anything can happen. But if I just say, oh, anything can happen in this fight, I'm not giving an opinion. I know Joe, and I've watched Daniel, and I think Joe is wrong for a lot of heavyweights out there because he's tough and relentless and heavy-handed. And if you don't get rid of him, if you hit him on the chin and you don't get rid of him, you're in for a nightmare.
Is it advisable for him to go to the States, the jet lag, training there, then coming back?
Fighters train in America all the time. It's not like he's fighting the next day he lands. No, it'll be fine for him.
Is he going to have enough time to come back to
Absolutely. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
Adam, it's my first interview with you, and appreciate.
You're welcome.
All the best in the
Nice one.
future.
Nice
Match
one.
28.
Thank you.
UncleTboxing signing out. Thank you.